Howdy, folks. I'm Brian,
I'm Amber.
and here's some Reddit. Our first story is titled, Am I the Jerk for Telling My Son to Leave My House After He Announced His Engagement? This one's kind of weird, so stay tuned. My son Adam, 24, and his best friend Carlos, 25, passed away over 2 years ago in a car accident. This loss completely devastated Adam to the point where he lost his job. They were like brothers, and our family have known his family for years. We're also devastated over the loss. Carlos left behind his girlfriend, who has their now 4-year-old son. We don't know his girlfriend too well since he didn't bring her around much. They were on and off until his son was born. Adam told me that he had been seeing and taking care of Carlos's family's needs, which was great, and we were glad that he was stepping in to make sure that Carlos's family were getting the help that they needed. Adam also got a new job and sort of had a limited contact for a few months. He started visiting us lately and looked different in general. He's now more calm and smiles more often and isn't even open to talk about Carlos without getting too emotional. I was relieved and happy for him, but last week he contacted me and his dad and said he had something to tell us. He visited us and brought Carlos' girlfriend and child with him. We had dinner, and he all of a sudden told us that he and Carlos's girlfriend have started dating and announced that they were engaged. I was in shock. I didn't expect this at all. I didn't know what to say, but I felt upset and shocked mostly. Adam noticed my reaction and asked me what was wrong. I told him I never expected him to get with his best friend's partner. All the people talked about how bad this would look to Carlos's family, who are close to our friends. Carlos's girlfriend excused herself and her son to the bathroom, and Adam began arguing. He went on about how I upset his fiance and that I should be supporting him, but I said that he shouldn't have told me and that he shouldn't have even gotten together with the best friend's partner and perhaps used their grief to get her to date him. He acted shocked and called me unbelievable when I asked him to leave my house. He got up and left with them. My husband says I messed up by making a scene and reacting the way that I did. I went upstairs and stayed for an hour. It's been days and Adam hasn't called, and my husband keeps trying to get me to speak to him, but I kept saying that I need time. All right, folks, what do you think, jerk or not the jerk?
Jerk.
OP, I have one correction here. This isn't Carlos's girlfriend anymore. This is your son's fiance. Whether or not you want to accept that is a completely different matter. Look, Carlos isn't alive, and that's sad, and that's probably upsetting, and I understand that, he was an important part of your family and an important part of your life. But he's not around anymore, and would you rather have Carlos's widowed girlfriend be out on the street or not being taken care of, or would you rather have his child and his partner being taken care of? And I think if you look, you already said it yourself that you think that was really great that your son stepped in. I don't think that you should be taking the cynical point of view of this and saying that, oh, he did this solely to get together with Carlos's girlfriend. I think that would be a really short-sighted way to view this situation. I think that their grief probably united them and brought them closer together, and I think that they probably developed a strong bond over a tragic situation, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I think you need to take some time and evaluate why you feel so bad about this situation, because this is not a healthy reaction. And maybe if you need to, maybe seek some counseling. You maybe have a lot of grief that you haven't processed yet. Maybe you viewed Carlos as a son to you, and you're having a really hard time accepting the finality of the situation. Whatever it is, this isn't your son's problem. This is your problem, and it's something you need to work out. So anyhow, take care and good luck. You're the jerk. It's been 2 years. The girlfriend is allowed to move on and find love again. I'm sure they grew closer in supporting each other, so this is unsurprising. Intimacy is not predatory. You accused your son of being manipulative and predatory without cause. You also made it seem shameful that she was moving on and not staying permanently a grieving widow, which I'm sure she had to work through the emotions of already on her own. you behave very badly towards them. Right, they have something extremely big and important in common. By all accounts, her son is a decent stand-up guy. Why is she assuming that he's done something horrible here? You're the jerk. You're the jerk, and maybe stop referring to her as Carlos's girlfriend. Does she not have a name of her very own? Yeah, that's kind of, I thought it was very awkward that they like included Carlos's girlfriend at each point instead of like giving them an arbitrary name like A or B or, whatever. Totally. I notice OP keeps insinuating that her son and the fiance are cheating on Carlos, and that's just weird. Sorry, not to be delicate here, but Carlos is dead. He's not upset that his partner and bestie got together. He's deceased. What a strange thing to be upset about. Our next letter is titled, Am I the jerk for refusing to resend mom my wedding invite after she gifted my wheelchair-bound soon-to-be husband running shoes as a joke? I'm a 29-year-old female, and I met my soon-to-be husband, a 32-year-old male, 2 years ago. He's wheelchair-bound, yes, but he's the most kind-hearted, generous person I've ever known. I'm not the prettiest or most intelligent person out there, but he accepts me and loves me as I am. We met via group therapy because he lost his mom in the same accident that made him disabled. When he met my mom, I'm sorry this is a bit hard for me to type out, he really hoped that he would see her as his own, but she acted a bit rude towards him. She kept making jokes about him and teased him a lot. We arranged the wedding that meets our budget. My soon-to-be husband's mom's death anniversary was last month. Mom joked about him being responsible for the accident, which created a dispute. Just a tiny dispute. I told my mom that she needed to apologize for making him cry, and she did. 2 weeks ago, she called asking if she could attend his birthday, and he told me to let her come. She came and was all loving and cheerful. She apologized for the past misunderstandings, and my soon-to-be husband was confused by her change of heart. We had a great time until after dinner. She gave him a box saying that this was her gift for his birthday. He opened it, and what we saw were a pair of Nike running shoes. He looked at her, and she started laughing, then said something about being optimistic and hoping that he'd use them one day. I lost it, and we both started yelling at each other, with her saying it was just a joke. I said this was utter humiliation, because she was basically rubbing it in his face that he is how he is. My soon-to-be husband said it was okay, but I had to ask her to step outside to talk. She kept arguing that she didn't mean for it to play out like that, and that he was being too sensitive and could use more therapy because his reaction should have been a laugh. I said she's no longer welcome at the wedding. She acted shocked, saying that I had taken this too seriously. I love how people, when they're like, it's just a joke, man. It's just a joke, man. Why are you taking this so seriously? But I insisted that she send back the invite. My dad joined us in begging us that I take the time to calm down and not make a decision I might regret later. She got into the car and was crying. Dad said we would talk later, but I said there was nothing to talk about after she insulted my soon-to-be husband in front of my friends. Dad then got into the car and left. The birthday party got awkward, which led to guests leaving early. Dad kept calling me after I got the invite back and trying to act like a mediator between us, and the family got involved. They said that this is my mom, and while she might have done something that was seen as offensive, excluding her from the wedding is just too much, and asked me to resend the invites so we could get this over with, but I kept saying no. All right, folks, what do you think of this one? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk.
OP, oh my goodness. I don't think you're the jerk in this situation. I think that your mom is seriously not acting in the best possible way that she could at the moment. And I think that going no contact with her over her behavior here is an acceptable avenue. I don't think that she's acting like a very good person, and I don't think she's acting like a very supportive person. So I don't blame you in the least for retracting her invitation. You have everything to lose here, right? If she's at the wedding, what's to stop her from giving another gift in poor taste or making some kind of speech about how, she just hopes that someday he'll be able to use those Nikes or something like that. Or that, I love my daughter and her husband, but I hope they grow a sense of humor. There's just so many things that she could do and say at this wedding to ruin things for you. And she's already proven that she's not a trustworthy person. Like, if she had just acted, like she had a change of heart and treated the situation better, it would have been one thing. But she just did this out of spite. Really what it seems like. Anyhow, take care and good luck. Not the jerk, I still can't get past the fact that she joked about being responsible for his mother's death. Yeah, that alone. What is she thinking? What a horrible thing to joke about. That is not an acceptable thing. There's no humor in that. Yes, she could have started with, "My mother's a monster." Yeah. This is legit one of the most vile things I've seen on here, and that's saying something. OP, your mom is a bully, plain and simple. I don't see any jokes here, only cruelty towards someone who she looks down on. And from the way you described yourself, it sounds like she's probably done the same thing to you in the past. You'd likely both be much happier uninviting her from your lives, honestly. Yeah. Alright, folks, it is tea time. So grab your favorite cups of whatever beverage you have, whether it's an American or Golden Eagle, coffee, tea, Coke, whatever it is. Grab your beverage of choice. I have imaginary coffee.
I have water.
So that's why I don't have the tea choices of today. Oh, and yeah, before I go into the whole tea time joke routine here, I just wanted to say something. I don't say this enough, and I always forget to say it, but I've been intending on saying it for a while. I so appreciate all of the comments that I get every single day. I really enjoy reading them. They're a highlight of my day, so thank you so much to everyone who always comments. I appreciate it. I might not always respond immediately, but I basically read them all like well ahead of time. And I'm like, oh, that's so nice. So I really appreciate it. So thank you all so much. You're all too kind. I really enjoy them. What is always in fashion, but always out of date? The letter F. Oh my goodness. They love those kind of jokes in this book. They really do. They're like, these are the best jokes ever. How many more silly jokes can we come up with? I don't know. I don't know if we can handle the silliness here. All right. Our next letter is titled, Am I the Jerk for Refusing to Let My Ex-Boyfriend Meet My Child? I'm a 37-year-old female and I have a wonderful son, a 5-year-old male. It was hard on me to get pregnant because of some issues I had. Reverted uterus and other pathologies. Before my son, I had 3 miscarriages. For context, I met my ex-boyfriend when I was 22. We wanted to have a family and we were in love and we started trying. We were never married. So we spent almost 10 years trying. Because of my condition, I had 3 miscarriages. We had a hard time over and over again. I felt bad and frustrated. We went to counseling because we wanted to be together, but there was an important missing piece. After my miscarriage, he started seeing a coworker. I looked the other way because I felt somehow guilty. My self-esteem was low because I could get pregnant but not give birth. Well, one day I was sick of it because he didn't even try to hide it, so I confronted him because I felt disrespected. He confessed that he was in love with this woman and was leaving me because I wasn't a real woman who could properly bear a child. What a horrible thing to say. That was hard to hear. I got deeply depressed but had to move on. He moved to another city with his mistress. They married and have 2 daughters. Well, 2 months after he left, I found out that I was pregnant. 4 months along. I didn't tell anyone because pregnancies usually didn't last longer than 5 months. I was sure I was going to miss it. His family used to be so rude and made mean comments about me losing my babies. Everything went perfectly and my boy was born safe and sound. I told his family about the baby because I thought it was the right thing to do, but his mom insinuated that the father probably wasn't even him. So I decided that I had enough from the family as it wasn't worth the problem and I moved on. I met my husband and we moved out. He acknowledged my son. We welcomed our daughter last year. Yeah, I could give birth for a second time and last time. Well, last December, I returned to my hometown to see my mother. As she and my ex's moms are neighbor, she got to see my son. Her face went white, since my son looks just like hers at the same age. Ex called me to ask about my child, stating that he didn't know. I don't buy it. His parents and siblings knew about him, and he wants to be the father now, but I told him he had 5 years and that my son does a real dad and doesn't need him to mess up his life. Once he is older, he can decide. He and his mom have called me the jerk and has been posting about how I kept his child from him and how I refused to let him in. So am I the jerk here? Alright folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk.
OP, you are not the jerk in this situation. I cannot blame you. Why would you want someone who cheated on you and then openly, flaunted cheating on you and then called you not a real or whole woman because you couldn't have a child? That doesn't even make sense. Does that mean all post-menopausal women aren't real women? No, that doesn't even make any sense. Does that women who cannot have children are still women? Does not matter. So I think that that's a garbage point of view to have, and I think that's really exclusionary on his part. So yeah, I cannot endorse your decision to not include him in your son's life more. That's my thoughts. Anyhow, take care and good luck. Not the jerk, he took off and got with someone else, while his family treated you like trash and denied that he could be the father. He made his bed, now he has to lay in it. No, he got with someone else, cheated because his significant other couldn't get pregnant, and then took off. That's far worse than breaking things off and finding someone else down the road. The rest I completely agree with. Wasn't a real woman who could properly bear a child is something that can never be recovered from and should be rightfully shunned from that alone. Add everything else and yeah, this dude is just not a good person. Yeah, not good at all. Alright folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, consider giving me a thumbs up. And if you didn't, consider giving me a thumbs down. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.